Beneath the relentless march of time, buried under layers of sand, stone, and collective amnesia, lie the remnants of civilizations that once touched the stars. These are not merely the crumbling foundations of primitive societies struggling to survive in a hostile world. They are the echoes of minds that possessed knowledge so advanced, so sophisticated, that modern science is only now beginning to comprehend the magnitude of what was lost. The story begins in the fertile valleys of the Indus River, where between 3300 and 1300 BCE, a civilization flourished that would challenge every assumption we hold about the linear progression of human development. The Harappan civilization, as archaeologists call it, stretched across an area larger than Egypt and Mesopotamia combined, encompassing over 1,500 sites across what is now Pakistan and northwest India. Yet this vast empire vanished so completely that its very existence remained unknown until the 1920s. What makes the Harappan disappearance so perplexing is not merely its scale, but its nature. When civilizations collapse, they leave traces: burned cities, mass graves, evidence of warfare or natural disaster. The Harappans left none of these. They simply ceased to exist, as if an entire population of millions had decided, in perfect unison, to abandon everything they had built and vanish into the mists of prehistory. The cities they left behind reveal a level of urban sophistication that wouldn't be seen again for millennia. Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro featured perfectly planned street grids, advanced drainage systems that rival modern engineering, and standardized weights and measures that speak to a unified, centrally organized society. The bricks used in construction were fired to specifications so precise that they remained virtually unchanged for over 4,000 years. The mathematics required for such consistency suggests knowledge of material science and engineering principles that seem impossible for the Bronze Age. But perhaps the most tantalizing mystery lies in their writing system. Over 4,000 Harappan inscriptions have been discovered, carved on seals, pottery, and copper tablets. Despite the efforts of the world's most accomplished linguists and the application of advanced computer analysis, the script remains undeciphered. Some researchers have begun to question whether it represents language at all in any conventional sense, or something far more sophisticated, perhaps a system for recording mathematical, astronomical, or even quantum mechanical principles. The precision evident in Harappan artifacts extends beyond mere craftsmanship into the realm of the impossible. Copper objects found throughout Harappan sites contain trace elements sourced from locations over 2,000 miles away. Yet there is no evidence of the extensive trade networks or transportation infrastructure such long-distance commerce would require. More puzzling still are the perfectly identical figurines discovered at sites hundreds of miles apart. Artifacts so precisely replicated that they appear to have been created from exact templates or molds, using techniques that shouldn't have existed for thousands of years. When metallurgical analysis revealed that these copper artifacts contained isotopic ratios inconsistent with any known natural deposits in the region, researchers faced an uncomfortable question. Where did the Harappans obtain materials that seem to have come from sources that don't exist on Earth? The mystery deepens when we examine the civilization's sudden end. Around 1900 BCE, the Harappan cities were abandoned. No bodies have been found in the ruins, no signs of plague or warfare, no evidence of the gradual decline that typically marks civilizational collapse. The inhabitants simply left, taking their knowledge, their technology, and their secrets with them. Some researchers speculate that they didn't leave at all. They ascended, transcended, or were taken. This pattern of advanced achievement followed by inexplicable disappearance repeats itself across the globe, suggesting that the Harappans were not unique, but part of a larger phenomenon that mainstream archaeology has been reluctant to acknowledge. High in the Bolivian Andes, at an oxygen-starved altitude of 13,000 feet, sits another impossible achievement, Puma Punku. The name means "gateway of the Puma" in the local Aymara language, but this site is far more than any gateway. It is a monument to precision that challenges our understanding of what ancient peoples could achieve with primitive tools. The massive stone blocks that comprise Puma Punku are not roughly hewn monuments to brute force and determination. They are precision-machined artifacts that would not be out of place in a modern manufacturing facility. Laser measurement of the joints between these megalithic blocks reveals tolerances of less than 1/16th of an inch. Precision that requires computer-controlled cutting equipment and diamond-tipped tools. The blocks themselves, some weighing over 100 tons, were quarried from sites 60 miles away across mountainous terrain that would challenge modern heavy equipment. How were they transported? How were they cut with such impossible precision? How were they lifted and positioned with accuracy that modern cranes would struggle to achieve? The conventional archaeological explanation that these monuments were created by Bronze Age peoples using copper tools, wooden rollers, and rope becomes increasingly absurd when confronted with the physical evidence. Microscopic analysis of the stone surfaces reveals tool marks consistent with high-frequency vibration cutting, a technique that uses ultrasonic waves to slice through stone with minimal material loss. This technology was only developed in the late 20th century, yet the evidence of its use at Puma Punku is undeniable. Ground-penetrating radar surveys have revealed another impossibility beneath the visible ruins, a network of perfectly straight tunnels extending for miles in all directions. These passages maintain consistent dimensions, run in geometrically precise patterns, and show evidence of excavation techniques that leave no trace of the manual labor such massive underground construction would require. But Puma Punku is not alone in its impossibility. 300 miles to the southeast, the fortress walls of Sacsayhuaman present another engineering marvel that defies explanation. Here, stones weighing up to 200 tons have been fitted together with such precision that the joints between them cannot accommodate a sheet of paper. These are not regular, rectangular blocks that might be fitted together through trial and error. They are complex, interlocking shapes, each one unique, each one fitting perfectly with its neighbors in a three-dimensional puzzle that would challenge modern computer modeling. The mathematical complexity required to design such a system is staggering. Each stone must be precisely shaped to interface with multiple neighbors while supporting tremendous weight and resisting seismic activity. Computer analysis suggests that creating such fits would require detailed three-dimensional scanning of each block and computer-controlled cutting to achieve the necessary precision. Yet according to conventional chronology, the civilizations that built these monuments had no knowledge of mathematics beyond basic arithmetic. Recent electromagnetic studies of both Puma Punku and Sacsayhuaman have revealed identical energy signatures, precise electromagnetic patterns that suggest both sites were designed to interact with natural electromagnetic fields in specific ways. The stones themselves appear to have been selected not just for their structural properties, but for their electromagnetic characteristics. This implies knowledge of physics and engineering principles that weren't supposedly discovered until the modern era. Ancient Peruvian textiles and pottery frequently depict figures using sophisticated instruments, devices that bear striking resemblances to modern surveying equipment, telescopes, and precision measuring tools. Inca oral traditions speak of the Viracocha, beings who possessed great knowledge and helped shape the land. According to these accounts, the Viracocha arrived from the sky and departed the same way, leaving behind monuments and knowledge that the local populations could not fully comprehend. The pattern of impossible precision, advanced knowledge, and mysterious origins extends far beyond South America. In Egypt, the pyramids of Giza continue to reveal secrets that challenge every conventional explanation for their construction. The Great Pyramid incorporates mathematical constants that weren't supposedly known to ancient peoples: pi, the golden ratio, and remarkably, the speed of light encoded in its dimensions. The precision of the pyramid's construction exceeds that of most modern buildings. The base is level to within just 2.1 centimeters across a foundation covering 13 acres. The orientation is aligned to true north to within 3/60th of a degree, more accurate than the Greenwich Observatory. The ratio of the pyramid's perimeter to its height equals pi to an accuracy of 99.98%, a precision that would be remarkable even if intentional, but which mainstream archaeology insists is mere coincidence. Recent cosmic ray imaging has revealed hidden chambers within the Great Pyramid, empty spaces that serve no apparent function as burial chambers or storage areas. These voids are positioned with mathematical precision that suggests they were designed to focus and amplify electromagnetic energy. The entire structure appears to function as a massive technological device, its purpose lost to history, but its sophisticated design undeniable. Electromagnetic studies show that the pyramids generate measurable energy fields that extend deep underground and high into the atmosphere. The specific frequencies involved match those found at other megalithic sites worldwide, suggesting a global network of interconnected monuments designed according to principles we are only beginning to understand. At Stonehenge in England, researchers have discovered that the monument sits atop one of the most powerful magnetic anomalies in Britain. The massive stones were transported from Wales, over 150 miles away, but not merely for their size or availability. These particular stones were chosen for their unique acoustic and electromagnetic properties. When struck, they produce infrasound frequencies that resonate at the same wavelength as human brainwaves, suggesting knowledge of consciousness itself and how it might be influenced or enhanced through architectural design. The acoustic properties of Stonehenge reveal sophisticated understanding of sound engineering. The monument amplifies and focuses audio frequencies in precise patterns, creating acoustic phenomena that modern sound engineers struggle to replicate. Similar properties have been found at megalithic sites worldwide, from the pyramids to Easter Island to ancient temples in Malta, suggesting a global civilization that understood the relationship between architecture, consciousness, and the fundamental forces of nature. At Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, the timeline of human achievement is pushed back even further. This temple complex, built over 11,000 years ago, predates Stonehenge by 6,000 years and the pyramids by 7,000 years. According to conventional archaeology, it was constructed by hunter-gatherers who had not yet developed agriculture or permanent settlements. Yet the site features massive stone pillars covered with sophisticated carvings that demonstrate artistic and technical skills that seem impossible for nomadic peoples. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed that Göbekli Tepe is merely the surface manifestation of a much larger complex. Dozens of similar structures lie buried in the surrounding area, potentially thousands of years older than the visible ruins. Each new discovery pushes back the timeline of human advancement and suggests that civilization is far older than mainstream science is willing to acknowledge. The evidence points to a disturbing conclusion. We are not the first advanced civilization on Earth. Throughout prehistory, sophisticated societies rose to heights of knowledge and achievement that we are only now beginning to rediscover. They understood principles of physics, consciousness, and reality itself that our modern science is struggling to comprehend. They built monuments that function as technological devices, created global networks of communication and energy, and possessed capabilities that seem almost magical from our current perspective. But what happened to these advanced civilizations? Why did they disappear, leaving behind only tantalizing clues carved in stone? Ancient texts from around the world provide remarkably consistent accounts. The Sumerian tablets speak of the Anunnaki, beings who came from the sky and shared knowledge with early humans. Hindu scriptures describe Vimanas, flying vehicles, operated by gods who intervened in human affairs. Biblical accounts tell of the Nephilim, giants who walked among men and possessed extraordinary abilities. These are not isolated myths, but consistent accounts from separate cultures across the globe, all describing similar events, beings, and interventions in human development. Modern astronomy has revealed thousands of potentially habitable planets in our galaxy alone, making the possibility of contact between civilizations not only plausible, but statistically probable. Recent genetic studies of ancient populations show sudden leaps in cranial capacity and brain development that don't follow normal evolutionary patterns. It's as if human intelligence received a dramatic upgrade approximately 10,000 years ago, coinciding exactly with the rise of advanced ancient civilizations and the mysterious Neolithic revolution that saw the rapid development of agriculture, mathematics, astronomy, and monumental architecture across the globe. We are essentially reverse engineering technologies that were perfected thousands of years ago. The electromagnetic properties of megalithic sites, the acoustic engineering of ancient temples, the mathematical precision of pyramid construction, these represent knowledge that was lost and is only now being rediscovered. Each archaeological expedition, each new technological analysis, reveals evidence of capabilities that shouldn't have existed, but undeniably did. The implications are staggering. If advanced civilizations have risen and fallen multiple times throughout Earth's history, what caused their disappearance? Climate data shows that the planet experienced massive upheavals around the time these civilizations vanished. Ice ages, global floods, volcanic catastrophes, and possibly impact events. Perhaps the knowledge was lost to natural disasters, or perhaps it was deliberately hidden, preserved somewhere, waiting for humanity to develop enough wisdom to rediscover it safely. Ancient texts speak of great catastrophes, floods that covered the earth, fires from the sky, and the departure of the knowledge bearers. These accounts, found in cultures worldwide, may not be mythological, but historical records of actual events. The evidence suggests that advanced civilizations have faced extinction-level threats before, and that some possessed the foresight to preserve their knowledge for future generations. We stand at a crossroads in human development. Every year brings new discoveries that challenge conventional understanding of our past and our potential. Underwater archaeology reveals submerged cities that predate known civilization by thousands of years. Satellite imagery uncovers massive structures hidden beneath jungle canopies and desert sands. Advanced dating techniques push back the timeline of human achievement with each analysis. The greatest archaeological discovery in human history may be imminent. Proof that advanced civilization is far older and more sophisticated than we ever imagined. This knowledge could revolutionize our understanding of human potential, our place in the cosmos, and our future as a species. We may discover that the capabilities we consider cutting-edge today were mastered and transcended by our ancestors long ago. As we develop artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and space travel, we may find that we are not pioneers but students, finally catching up to lessons taught millennia ago. The monuments our ancestors left behind may be more than mere memorials to dead civilizations. They may be libraries, instruction manuals, and warnings left by beings who understood that knowledge without wisdom leads to destruction. The electromagnetic networks, the acoustic properties, the mathematical precision embedded in ancient monuments suggest that our ancestors possessed a sophisticated understanding of reality itself. They knew how consciousness interacts with physical matter, how architectural forms can influence human awareness, and how to harness natural forces for purposes we can barely imagine. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not who built these impossible monuments, but what we will do with the knowledge they represent. Will we learn from the mistakes of previous civilizations? Will we develop the wisdom to handle advanced technology responsibly? Or will we repeat the cycle, rising to great heights only to fall back into darkness and legend? The echoes of the forgotten still resonate in stone and symbol, in mathematics and mystery. They remind us that human potential may be far greater than we dare to imagine. We are not the first to gaze at the stars and wonder about our place in the universe. Our ancestors looked up at the same constellations, perhaps with knowledge we have yet to recover, perhaps with companions we have yet to remember. The truth may be that we are not alone and never have been. The evidence suggests that throughout human history, advanced intelligences have visited our planet, shared knowledge with developing civilizations, and left behind traces of their presence for those wise enough to recognize and interpret them. We may be on the verge of the most important discovery in human history, the realization that we are part of a larger cosmic community, inheritors of knowledge that spans millennia, and guardians of wisdom that must not be lost again. As we continue to excavate the past and explore the cosmos, we must remember that every ancient monument, every impossible artifact, every mathematical constant encoded in stone is a message from those who came before. They are telling us that human achievement has no limits, that consciousness itself may be the most advanced technology in the universe, and that the greatest discoveries are not ahead of us but behind us, waiting to be remembered. The echoes of the forgotten are growing louder. The question is whether we are ready to listen, to learn, and to reclaim the inheritance that our ancestors left for us in their monuments of impossible precision and eternal mystery. The answer may determine not just our understanding of the past, but our survival into the future.